I wrote something once called, "Who knows from where inspiration comes?" Okay? You never know. You could be sitting on the bus, looking out the window. Something will trigger something in your mind because you are that artistic temperament. You have that artistic temperament. And once that spark is lit, you're off. And you keep a book with you all the time. You're writing, and it's in your head. As soon as you get someplace, you're writing it down, okay? So I think that you are made that way. You are hardwired that way.
Even if you don't have parents who are gonna take you to choir rehearsal or take you to auditions, or people who are gonna embrace your dance or whatever your art is, if you love it, I think that energy, that spirit is the most infectious thing ever. But you have to know it, and you have to really sincerely wake up breathing it every moment of your life. And regardless of who doesn't get it, if you keep at it, they'll get it eventually. They always do.
As a writer, sometimes you want to do so many things that you can't focus on one thing. And that's been my problem, but I'm not going to stay in something continue to write something that doesn't make me happy. So I would definitely say focus on really the main area you want to tackle as far as an artist, and go from there. Be confident in yourself. Don't let anyone tell you different. Focus on where you want to go. Stay focused, and just believe in yourself and stop at nothing to accomplish it.
Follow your dreams. It's never too late to do anything that you want to do. I don't care if you were 40 or 50, 60 years old. I mean, if that's something you want to do, if you want to pick up a pen and start writing a book or a memoir, do it. Don't hesitate to be who you are. Don't let anybody put any boundaries or restrictions on you to say you can't or you can do this. You just have to know who you are, and you have to stand on your ground.
Everybody's here for a reason. God put you on this earth for a specific reason. Nobody is equal because everybody has their own task that He assigned to you. And whatever gift He has blessed you with, may it be dance, may it be writing, may it be you're a good talker so you can counsel different people. Being young and being an artist and trying to understand the direction you want to take, and you have all these different distractions and influences. Of course, you want to take the advice from people that support you, but when you don't have, you're not going to ever, I'll put it like this, you're never going to get the full support that you need from people, because everybody has their own objectives, everybody has their intentions and what it is their direction is for their lives. Like I said, the best advice I can give is to take your direction from God and let Him place that in your heart to see what it is that He is directing you to do.
Sometimes we're supported, sometimes we're not. But if you got a dream, you'll follow it. And I think hard work and a little bit of talent go a long way. Sometimes hard work and no talent go a long way.
So it really doesn't matter what it is that, you see yourself doing. And I know your mind changes, you go to college, you may be exposed to some different things, but the fact that you actually write out something, and you can call it a future letter, you can call it a one-day letter or a one-day note, whatever you want to call it, but just write. Even if you're not a writer, just write. So that's what I would tell anybody, whether it's with art or sports or business or, pharmaceuticals, I don't care what it is, write it down.
If you have the passion, do you, but also go at your own pace. If you feel like you can attack it, you want to go full steam ahead, like I don't have all the support, but I'm just going to attack it, attack it. If you feel like, I just want to, I don't have the support yet, and maybe I don't even support myself yet, but this is where I want to be, so I'm just going to fall back a little bit till I find the support within myself. It's like you have to my thing is like play all your positions right. It's like, just don't rush into anything. Even if waiting or trying to come to an idea of what you really want to do takes a couple of months, weeks, a year, 2 years, do what you got to do for yourself. But just strategize. Just make sure, so you can make sure that you make the right decision for yourself. you know, if your family's not there for you and you're kind of thinking like, well, maybe I shouldn't do this, then maybe you shouldn't do it. Because whatever you want to do, it has to come from you.
Stay true to yourself by pursuing what's inside of you, basically. So
anything is possible, no matter what your situation is. You know, you just you gotta be strong. You gotta have faith. You know, you gotta have faith in what you're doing. You gotta set your goals and know that you could do that. You know, you can make anything happen. You know, it's all up to you and your way of thinking, and knowing that you just need to put yourself in the right place and surround yourself with people that you can learn from.
Be around people who think like you know, because it is hard to grow and work as an artist if you don't have that, I guess, positive reinforcement.
The arts is very unique in that way, is that artists are usually creating their own communities and creating these types of places where you can go. If no one wants you to dance, there's clubs you can go to where everybody's a dancer, and you can kind of have a dance family, which is a term you hear a lot. You know, dance companies are families. So I feel like the arts in particular is a place where you can really, you know, thrive if you don't have that support, because usually, you know, people in the arts, someone at home thinks they're crazy for doing it. So we can all understand, you know, where you're coming from.
Ellington basically made the whole transition to the arts more seamless, because before then I was always involved in activities through a Boys and Girls Club. So I was always in various activities, from karate to gymnastics to anything involved in the arts. And steel band, I was in a steel band. And Ellington just brought it all together. It made me see almost like you see how it works when being an artist is a working process. So it kind of put into perspective the process of being creative in a more, beginning stages of a professional life.
I mean, going to Duke Ellington was one of the key things in my life, because it exposed me to everything that I needed to know about the industry and, you know, training, everything at an early age. And the earlier you get exposed to these things, the easier it is for you to really be successful and to kind of find your place and find who you are. So, I mean, going to Duke was, you know, one of the major things that has helped me as an artist.
It's actually funny because my mother planned since the age I was 5 for me going there, because she knew like one of the board of directors. And I started dancing, so she initially wanted me to go and dance, but I did not make the audition. I did not have time to audition. So the only place they could put me was literary and media, which is, I guess, actually molded me into the person I am, because that's really when I started writing and kind of how I fell into it, and I found a love for it because I was supposed to only be in that department for 1 year and then move over into dance. And, you know, I kind of discovered that I wanted to express myself through words.
There was a time when I was chair of all the arts chairs. And we used to meet once a week and we'd talk about how the school, the direction of the school, the arts program was moving forward. And that tension would arise, and I would remind them, say, you know, if it were not for the arts program, there would be no Duke Ellington, okay? It would just be another high school, okay? So, the arts is what drives this school.
It pretty much opened up a window and provided an outlet for me. I was someone who grew up in quote unquote the hood, so going to Georgetown and being exposed to another life, a more creative life, and an opportunity to just learn artistically and grow and develop as an artist. That's what Duke Ellington has offered me.
This is a school whose purpose is to provide an opportunity for students who otherwise would not have this opportunity. You see, a lot of art schools look to select through their audition process the best and the brightest. The kids who are already at the top of their class. They come in having taken dance lessons since they were 5. They've been studying music and can read music perfectly since they were 8 years old. That is not what Duke Ellington is all about. We're looking for kids with raw talent. We're looking for kids who maybe in their middle school kind of struggled in middle school because, you know, they were misunderstood. They didn't have an opportunity to really develop their artistic side. So maybe that student was always getting into trouble because they were doodling in class, always drawing while the teacher was talking, and consequently were in behavioral problems. But then they're given the chance to come to a Duke Ellington. They don't know how to read music necessarily, everyone, but boy, they've got a voice that can sing like nobody can sing. And to take that student and to give them the expansive foundation, to give them the technique and the training that they need to watch them develop. And that's why this school produces a Denise Graves.
I remember my first day, I walked in and I didn't go to the summer, I don't know what you call it, the retreat. I didn't do the retreat. So I didn't have a lot of relationships with the students. So my first day there, Miss Lindsay, who was the principal when I was there, came up to me and she said, "So can you sing?" And I was like, "Yes." And she's like, no, I need you to tell me yes or no. Can you sing? I was like, "I can sing." She's like, "Do you have passion?" And I didn't know what that word meant. And so for me, my journey at Duke Ellington really taught me to find what moves me, and that's what helps you move other people. So it was very, very, very necessary for me as an artist today to have that experience, because it taught me to really find out what my voice was and how I was supposed to express my passion and my life and my experience and my pain, all the things that embody who I am, all the things I embody as a person. So it was great because I didn't even know what passion was before I went to Duke.
Well, Duke Ellington definitely it taught me the discipline from the very beginning about being on time, about discovering the passion for the craft, and just actually doing it, you know, actually working, learning how to work while I was in school, while I was in high school, prepared me for being able to work after I finished up until now. It was probably the most important, probably taught me the most out of all of my schooling. Even after Duke Ellington, I learned the most there about being a professional.
Like I said, I take my direction from what God wants me to do because it's not about me. It's not about me. It's not about what it is that I want to do. He gave me a gift. Now I have to use it for whatever path he has me going on. It's not going to always be easy. It's actually going to be difficult because just like Job, he's going to challenge you to see what it is, or how much of a passion, how much of a love that you have for him to do what it is that he tells you to do.
You know, I used to joke, I know you guys got Ayana in this documentary, and I used to joke with her when we graduated, and because she would always say, you know, I'm going to go to school and I'm going to get a minor degree in, I think, psychology at the time, and I'm a major in music, or maybe it was the other way around, because that's my plan B. And I told her, I said, well, if you have a plan B, that means you don't believe in your plan A. So, you know, for me, there was no other option. It was this. Is it?
Those that are listening, I want to be able to heal them, get them to escape all of the, if they're going through bad times, or, you know, anything that doesn't feel good. I want to try to bring them a sense of joy and peace and just enjoyment. I want them to enjoy what they're listening to. It's kind of like I just want to heal their minds and be able to let them feel better than they felt before they were listening.
I've been chosen to do some very remarkable things, and my mission and my job and my motivation is to just be obedient, really. Again, the books that I've written, I'm extremely proud of. The music that I have the honor of working with and administering, and seeing how the marketing works with it, and watching how people are touched when they see a music video that I might have directed, or the music that I might have helped put together or put out by an artist, or being at a theater or watching just the people's face light up when, you know, Denton and I do a movie or write a movie together, and just seeing the reaction and how people are moved by that. So I'm just inspired every day by the fact that I was chosen, you know, to do this.
I have a story that I love to tell. When I left DC to go to college, I was like, I'm going to go to school, but I want to do music. Like, I want to sing, background playback. I always tell my mom this. And she's like, whatever, like, I was 15 when I said it, so 11th grade. And I was like, I'm going to sing with her. She's going to know me. I was her biggest fan. I'm still Paylo's biggest fan. But I kept it in my heart. I hid it in my heart, and it was something that mattered to me. And regardless of whether or not my mom believed it or anybody else, my peers understood it or embraced my ideas, I kept it. And I remember I auditioned for a show. Debbie Allen is an alumni dude, and she came back and held an audition for a show she did called Soul Possessed. And I auditioned for it, and I was one of the principal singers of the 7 who had been on Broadway. I'm a kid singing with these people, and the first day of rehearsal, guess who walks in? Miss Patti LaBelle. So because I kept that passion and I believed it, and I didn't need anybody else to say this was gonna happen. I knew within myself, and I think that's the most valuable thing I can tell anybody who has a gift, who doesn't have the opportunity to go to Duke, or who doesn't get voice lessons or piano lessons, is if you love it and you live and breathe it, and it's all that matters to you, eventually everybody around you will get it. And even if they don't, it's your path.
The 24 hours in which you operate. Out of that 24, I'll give you 6 hours of sleep. So there's 18 hours that you are awake and functioning, okay? How much of those 18 hours are you thinking about film? Are you thinking about writing? Are you thinking about sound? Are you thinking about the world? And as you think about it, it gets smaller and smaller and smaller and more laser focused on a particular project or a particular path you're on, okay? And while you are coming down to that path, do you hear the rest of the world? No. Should you hear the rest of the world? No. This is who you are. This is the path that you're on. Now, that doesn't mean that at some point in the course of those 18 hours, you have time for other stuff. You have time to go, you know, check your email, or see what's going on Facebook, you know, eat. But when you do that, when you eat, you're thinking about what you're doing. Okay, that's who you are. If you play a musical instrument, how much time do you give to practice? How much time do you give to theory? Okay. How much time do you give to performance? Okay. That's who you are. Now, you can sit and you can watch TV all the time, but when you're watching TV, are you thinking about film? Are you thinking about what you're writing? Is it something you're watching? Is it a commercial that comes on, a PSA or a show, the news, whatever, that sparks something?
No, something happens to me when I hear a Donny Hathaway song. You know, something happens, you know, when I hear Michael Jackson, or when I hear, you know, Anita Baker. When Michael Jackson died, like, I was sad as if I knew him personally. I mean, that's just how I'm involved in the music. You know, I just really was. You know, when I hear a Quincy Jones track, it's just like, you know, or when Frankie Beverly and Mays come on at the family barbecue, you know, just something happens. And, you know, I want to be able to make that same impact.
I feel like I don't care if it's 5 people, 10 people, 1,000 people, 1,000,000 people, 1 billion people see what I do. I feel like as long as I'm doing what I want to do, as long as I'm being honest, regardless of who sees me or not, I feel like I'm doing good. I feel like I'm creating change. I feel like I'm making a way, because I'm not really concerned about the polls or this is how many people saw that, like whatever. That's not my concern. So yeah.
Because I mean, it's always a debate, especially when you're an artist that kind of works in industry settings. You know, artists have kind of 2 different lives that they can kind of take. You know, you can really kind of go mainstream with it and corporate, or you can kind of create your own, you know, avenue. Me, I choose to kind of be in both, because I feel it's important that as an artist that we represent who we are in the mainstream world. I mean, a lot of artists are, oh, that's mainstream. I'm gonna stay away from it because I'm true and da 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 da. But we have to, that's our job. We have to enter these arenas and make sure that we're being represented correctly, because if we just stay separate, it doesn't, then CEOs are creating, you know, our fields and our industries. So one of the main goals of my company is to represent the true technique and artistry of dance in the mainstream world. Like, if you go to my website, it's on there, written just like that. You know, so that's 100 million%. Like, that's very important to me.
I would say I'm constantly changing and evolving as an artist, which I think is a gift and a curse, because when I really got hardcore into my, I guess, career, I started off in entertainment PR, which, you know, you do write like press releases and biographies and stuff like that to put in a press kit. But I realized that wasn't where I wanted to go. And I was also freelancing and writing business plans on the side. And now I believe I want to go into fiction, so I'm actually doing the outline for my first Smart Woman's fiction book. And I'm going to take it from there. What's it called? It's still untitled. Obviously, it's a love story, a little bit of humor. I mean, I think that genre is definitely maturing, because it was known as chick lit books, but I don't think that it was taken seriously being that it was titled like that. So, you know, it's those type of books like The Devil Wears Prada, you know, like something you can read on the beach. But I'm having fun writing it so far and developing the characters.
My mission as an artist is to inspire people to reach for what's within themselves, to embrace their own individuality, to be fearless, relentless, and to know that they're empowered. Basically, my goal is to help them see what's inside of them and to shoot for it, to move forward, to not be stuck in one situation. So
I feel like if I don't wake up every morning and have an agenda on what it is to accomplish one thing, that I'm wasting his time. Of course, the ultimate purpose for everybody is to win over as many souls as possible. Not to allow them to get caught up in the world sense of everything, being that a lot of people in these interviews that you're going to hear are in entertainment. So there are a lot of different distractions. There's a lot of different avenues, and I just say just distractions that can take you off your path. Like for me, dance is an outlet, writing is an outlet, but ultimately the ultimate goal is, what are you going to do with that? Like, I know you guys hear little kids in the background. Like, I'm at a dance school right now, handing over the gifts that I have over to children, so that they may not be getting, like the question you asked me before about the support, and you may not get certain things at home. Like, they may not be getting the support at home. Maybe the 12 or 13-year-olds, the little ones, they just want to put their kids in something just to have them busy or some kind of activity. But it actually stimulates their mind to think about other things that they can do, other ways they can express themselves. And like I said, ultimately, you're expressing yourself to share it with somebody. You're not on stage just to be like, oh, well, I got a videotape of me doing a monologue of raising the sun. Like, no, it's not like that. You're touching somebody. You're connecting mentally and emotionally with your audience, or with that person that is watching you dance or reading your script.
The funny thing is, I'm part of a couple, it's like 3 different industries. I guess that they're all in the entertainment industry in some regards. So I think I can be a part of the LPGA. I seriously do think that. I'm very good at golf on the Wii. But I take that seriously, because I shot like 10 under the other day. I'm so serious. I really do think I could be a part of the LPGA. But aside from that, you know what? Right now, my art is very, I can admit that it is very self-centered. Like, I do sit home and write or sit home and do music, and it really is very self-centered. But a part of my motivation is to be a lot more philanthropic with my music. And I do have plans to do some things nonprofit-wise with a brand that I came up with. I'm not going to say it because someone might steal it. But no, it's... But no, seriously, I do want to do some things where it's a lot more consciously philanthropic that will help children. I'm actually very into what Mrs. Michelle Obama is also motivated by, which is childhood obesity and eating healthy and wellness and things like that. I'm very much into that, and I'm working very hard personally to be able to do something like that in the future. And we always say, you know, we want to do something when we get more money, or when this happens, or when that happens. So right now I've actually started utilizing my art, utilizing music primarily as a form of wholeness promotion. And that's something that I'm very much into.
And this is the mecca of what I do. You know, there's some of the greatest musicians in the world are here. As well as some of the worst musicians in the world. It's like it's a lot of the good and a lot of the bad, you know. And basically, I knew that I would get opportunities here if I kept the right mindset, put myself in the right place at the right time. You know, I can run into anybody. People can hear me play, you know, and I can hear other people play, and I can grow. You know, I can grow here. And it's just somewhere I always wanted to be, to experience. I think every musician, you know, at some point in their life needs to be here in order to know what the highest level is of that profession, and almost any profession.
My company? Joyland Productions. It's kind of taking a shift right now. It's dance-based collaborations. That's kind of, it's a very general way to describe it, but that's what it is. You know, I don't specifically, you know, do concert dance. I don't specifically do film. I am really creating a dance film division because I'm kind of attracted to the elements of film and how they can, you know, alter dance, and how dance and film, you know, can create magic. You know, I have a couple of live shows that integrate different elements as well. So it's not just dance per se, where it's just dancers on the stage and nothing, although that, that's another level of artistry. But I like to collaborate dance with different things, different settings, different, art forms, to see where we can take it.
I'm an aspiring writer. When you come to LA, you come here for one thing and then you pick up other things. Writing is something I stopped doing. I did for a very long time when I was young. Like as a child, I was writing every day and I just didn't do it. I just wanted to pursue acting. So LA, I guess, kind of woke up that desire and that passion again. So I'm writing, and modeling is another thing that I do because that was a passion of mine when I was a teenager, but I stopped and just stuck with acting. But moving here, you kind of have to be a Jane of all trades and find a balance to it, because what may be slow in one area could be fast in another. So you just kind of have to just balance everything and pretty much do what comes.
People like me, we're looking for substance again in music. We're looking for R&B music that's going to inspire us, like Earth, Wind & Fire did, or like Michael Jackson did. And all I would say is that, it's okay to do the Nicki Minaj and the Drakes and all that. There's a creativity in all that, even in Trey songs or in some of the other artists. But, we have to coexist with something of substance. Back in the day, you had Cameo, but you also had Anita Baker. You also had Luther Vandross. And so, I'm looking for coexistence, along with the peers, because, once you come off the dance floor and you chilling with your lady, what you gonna put on? So, or, when you grow older, or you driving, you're doing the family trip, when you got your kids, you're not gonna listen to Lil Wayne. So, where's the balance? Right. And so that's what we're trying to do, bring balance back into the industry.
In grad school at Howard University for social work, getting my master's degree. So that's the next step in my life. And how I would like to use that as it relates to my artistic life is I would like to create some programs that deal with art therapy, that will essentially deal with kids, children, teens, and their families. And, whether it be abuse, neglect, divorce, whatever the issues surrounding these families, I would try to engage them through art therapy, whether through music, through dance, through theater, through poetry. And there will be a particular curriculum set up that will address the needs of the client, but it would all be based through the arts. And I think that'll be an excellent way to reach some of these kids and teens, because you have a lot of programs out here that pretty much target the youth through sports, basketball, football, tennis, whatever the case may be. But you really don't see the need for, through the arts, that's really engaging these kids through the arts. You have some music programs out there that, some of the celebrities are involved in and save the music and stuff like that. But I really want to dig deeper into it and really provide a baseline to really help kids through the arts, through therapy.
I love charity and I love giving, because I believe that's the greatest gift, is to be able to give. So I love Africa. I've been to Africa recently. I went to Ghana and I did a music camp with kids. There were 150 kids in Accra, Ghana, and I taught them music in English, and they taught me music in their native language, which is Twi. I love giving to kids. I go to Mexico every month and just spend time with kids at orphanages, and we just play. I don't even speak Spanish. They don't speak English, but the language of love is very powerful. So I love working with children outside of music. If I could just spend time with little kids and just play and sing and do music all day, I would. So that would probably be what's most special to me outside of music.
I'm a matchmaker, and I help people find love. I get to know them on a personal level and pray to God that they say something that'll trigger something in me that'll pull a rabbit out the hat a lot of times. So I bring two people together and just really pray that they fall in love. So yes, you know, it's interesting because I'm so young and I'm so new to the game. I'm not a pro at it or in any way, but I guess my advice is working because people are falling in love. So, you know, it is a successful business, and it helps me work with people with money and even people without money. So I speak with people from different backgrounds, and it helps me to learn how to connect. I plan to have my own film company someday, and it's just good practice to just be able to talk to people from different financial backgrounds, from millionaires to, you know, the man who just works for a company somewhere. So, yeah.
One class that I had, my novel writing class, I just finished. One important piece of information that I took away from the class that my writing teacher told me, and she is an author. She's penned like 4 novels so far. And she told me that, you know, you always got to know how to market yourself and push your business regardless if you're signed with an agent, especially if you're signed with a big agency, because they might not pay as much attention to you since they have so many accounts and artists that they're representing. So you got to know how to, you know, get the word out about your work and have a following, like, you know, invest in a website and just, you know, your social media campaign, and, you know, really get yourself out there regardless if your agent's not doing it, or, you know, sometimes you are your best advertising. So
teacher of mine, Michael Bowie, who's a great bassist in Washington, subbed me to a gig at Blues Alley with Curtis Fuller, who is probably one of the most influential trombonists in jazz music. I played with John Coltrane, Miles Davis, Art Blakey and the Jazz Messengers. But Curtis Fuller, I played with him in New York. So my teacher from subbing me to that one gig, it opened up many other gigs. So a lot of times when different cats would come in and play at Blues Alley in DC, I would get on these gigs. And I would always tell them, man, I'm gonna come to New York. I'm gonna come to New York. So when I come to New York, can y'all look out for me? You know, I'm gonna call you when I get there. They're like, all right, come on. All right, man, we'll see you when you get there. And I didn't really believe it. But when I got here, I already had some connections. And I was set out to play with as many legends as I could. It was about a career, but it was also just about learning, continuing to learn different things about my craft, about the history of the music, being around these older musicians while they're still here living, because people, you know, pass away every day. So I wanted to have that information to be able to give on to the generation after me and be able to continue to do it.
I believe in flourishing where you are. I mean, the reality is this is where I am. It may be, the true reality of that is because, let's be honest, I'm broke. I can't move anywhere anyway. But now that I'm stuck, I'm not going to stop just because I'm in a certain place. You know, my whole vision for what I want to do has to continue from where I am, or it goes just based on where I actually am. I actually don't even focus on that too much. I mean, one day I do want to eventually live in, like, you know, the desert, because for some reason I just like it, the desert. I like the way it looks. But you know, but until that day, I mean, I can't stop and say, you know, if I was in New York, things would be better. No, probably wouldn't. I'll just be surrounded by a lot more people competing for my position, you know, but obviously I'm where I am because it's where I'm supposed to be.
I've always seen myself in this position. So that's what keeps me grinding. But, you know, more importantly, my child. I have a 8-year-old now. And one day he's gonna look at me and say, hey, I'm ready to go to school, or hey, I'm ready to be a mechanic and open my own garage or whatever. And I should be able to fund his dream, you know? So that's really now my new motivation, like, hey, you know, is this serious? You know, I never want to look at him in his face and say, you can't do that or you can't do this. You know, I sat under a pastor one time who said, you know, it's insulting for you to have a savings account, but yet you have no financial plans for your children. And that really hit home for me. So not everything I do, you know, is for the benefit of him and really his generation.
Life. Fortunately, I work in the night industry, so the people around me, the people I meet, I get working in that industry because you deal with so many personalities in a small amount of time. Things that have gone on in my life too. My friends inspire me, you know, what they go through every day. If anything, love, career, life. So it's a mixture of everything. My environment, my friends, my family. Definitely my job, because I have to deal with so many people, and you can actually see somebody morph into something else with alcohol involved. So, you know, that gives you inspiration to develop characters.
The things that inspire me the most, the one thing that inspires me, besides God, you know, I would have to say definitely just life, just being where I am, the experiences that I go through every day, different things that I see, different people I meet, you know, different situations. I take all the good situations, all the bad situations, and put them into what I'm doing. And just being here in New York, you know, it's a lot of inspiration around, because there's so many different things that happen every day, different emotions that you get, different, you know, just different things that I'm exposed to, you know, whether it's other musicians, you know, hearing music that I've never heard before, seeing all the legends that are here, you know, it really inspires me and allows me to put myself into what I'm doing, and be able to put my environment into what I'm doing, you know. So just life, man, different life events, and every moment of every day in some way inspires me.
My daughter inspires me. God inspires me. I carry him with me all the time. That's my number one. Wake up, pray, and find out what it is that he wants me to do for the day with the gift that I have. I say my daughter because I had her, I don't want to say at an early age, but at that age where you may be that one person in your family to carry the torch as far as graduating or moving on to that next level. Say your parents didn't graduate from college, so they're looking at you to take that next step. I actually had my daughter at 22. My junior going into my senior year of college at Howard, and that's when I think I had my turning point in life, growth, my next growth step, as far as everybody telling you can't do it. And I would go home, I would be doing my studies and, you know, being rehearsals late, and she'd be with me. And then I have my support as far as people understanding that you're in the arts. You don't want to be a starving artist, but at the same time, you don't want to start to go in an area that is kind of like a waste or like a empty spot, as far as, how can I explain it? You're dancing and you want to be the best ballerina ever. You want to join a dance company and you're going left, and everybody is telling you, oh, you had a baby, you can't do this, A, B, and C, and well, I got to get a regular job. So that's going to deter you to go right. Of course, you have to make alternate changes, but not in a sense of totally taking the quote-unquote world's understanding as far as redirecting your life. You can still go forth with your passion. You can still go forth with what it is that you want to do in your life, just because you had a new crosswalk,
like the crossroads.
Crossroads, yes, like Bone Thugs and Harmony. So when you have a new crossroad, you don't necessarily have to go a totally different direction. You can still go forth with what it is that you want to do. And my inspiration, like I said, came from my daughter, because God blessed me with becoming a mother. One, I'm a woman, so I'm supposed to reproduce. That's number one. But he put her in my life because that's one of the purposes that I have in my life, is for women and for young girls. So having a young little baby, and it's a little girl, it helped me to know what it is that you're supposed to do and supposed to not do in the development of the mind of a child and the mind of a little girl.
There's just so many levels. I mean, you hear a lot of people say, oh, life, it's inspiring, it's beautiful. But I feel like in society we have this kind of escape that we're always looking for. We have all these vampire teen love stories and all of these things that are like we're escaping, but these things are around us every day. You know, like the human body is amazing. Like it's ridiculously amazing. Like of the things that go on inside your body on an everyday basis, that's magic in itself. So I think I kind of, you know, the little nuances, little things that happen in my everyday life, I kind of take that and magnify it times 45, that exact number, and create and just see where it takes you. You know what I mean?
I've been in the music business. I've been in music all my life. I grew up singing in church, but I've been in the music industry for about 4 or 5 years. I put out an album, my single went to #1 on Billboard, and then I did a deal with Universal. And the entire time I struggled with feeling like I had to be like the artists who were out. I had to shake and show everything and just be overtly sexual just to get the attention or just to be able to sell a record. Or not even embrace who I am as a black girl, because we don't see a lot of examples of black girls really embracing who they are and their hips and their hair and their everything, their skin color. We blind ourselves up and make ourselves look like white girls, and I just felt like very discouraged a lot of times. So for me, I think my position and my persona is important for that little girl who isn't okay with herself yet. And she needs somebody who looks like her, or who comes from where she comes from, or who has faced the same challenges she has in her life, to tell her that you can be just as important. You are just as important. You are just as special. Being unique is okay. Being thick is okay. Being brown is all right. You don't have to look like everybody else. You don't have to show everything. You don't have to give them all your cleavage and all your booty to sell a record. Like, it's okay to embrace who you are. And that's beautiful in itself. So I think young girls today don't really have a lot of examples of that. We see a lot of one thing and there's not a balance. So I believe I'm the balance.
My goal is to empower women to move forward, to get past everything that hinders their minds and to seek whatever is inside of them. Being fearless, that's my biggest thing. Being fearless and moving forward. Those are pretty much the two things that really, that's my mission, and I want to inspire women to do just that. Be fearless, move forward, and stay true to yourself. Do what's inside of you. Yes, so I plan to tell stories, and my stories would pretty much be about women overcoming and moving forward.
When you get out of college or when you get out of high school and they ask you what you want to do, they say it's that long period of you maybe trying to, the ages of trying to figure yourself out, and you can either go left or you can go right. Of course, you want to go God's way, but being young, you're going to be stupid, you're going to make mistakes, which is fine, but it's finding out, okay, how do I fix what I did to do better? I want to have a dance studio for young girls, to teach them, of course, the discipline, teach them how to be young ladies, teach them how to be great young women of God, so that they can give the word to somebody else, or maybe give it to their sister or their friend or their cousin. Giving them an outlet to express themselves that they may not have at home. I want a counseling center for girls that have problems, can't get the support at home, can't, you know, just have a place to go to let anything out.
A lot of times in what I do, being a musician, you know, playing different types of music, even playing like jazz music, you know, a lot of times, sometimes it could be over people's heads, but to me, what I try to do is connect with those that are listening. It's really important because, like I said a little earlier, it's about healing for me. You know, music is like a healing power for me. So I want to just heal. I want to make people feel joy, you know, be able to be honest, you know, in what I'm doing, and let them be able to be in touch with themselves from hearing what I'm doing, you know. So for me, I do play for with the musicians I'm playing with, and try to express myself, but I also want to give to the audience, because those are the listening, you know, give to the listeners. That's like really important to me.
I took my son to see Stevie Wonder when he was 4. And a friend of mine, Ryan Kilgore, got up to play a saxophone solo. And my son looked at me and he said, "Dad, what's that?" And I said, "What's what?" And he said, "What is he playing? What is he blowing into?" And I said, "That's a saxophone." And it dawned on me that my 4-year-old son had never seen or heard a saxophone. And all the cartoons he watched, the music videos, Disney, it's like we became a dying art form. And it's like, hey, you know, so I mean, it's for that reason. You know, I want to be able to pass on what they passed on to me to somebody else.
Just because I'm here, you know, somebody in the UK can relate to me just as well as somebody in Southeast, or somebody that's in Africa can definitely relate to me, you know, where somebody that's in Arlington, Virginia, you know. So I think that the universal language is music, is art, is culture, you know, and if you can get everybody on that same accord where it can reach the masses and it's all speaking the same language, it's no color lines, no nothing, but it's all saying that same thing, that's music or culture or art or whatever it is, that should be the main focus.
Michelle is an overcomer. That's who Michelle is. We can't just leave it at that. I'm kidding. You know, I've gone through a lot. I've been faced with a lot. My life growing up was really hard. But to be able to look past that and overcome it taught me my own personal strength. And I know that I can do anything I put my mind to. So I know who I am to myself, you know, as far as who I am when I wake up, you know, fun, love. I can go and throw out all these adjectives and all that kind of stuff. But I think that's kind of boring. I mean, you know, I just feel like I'm ever changing, you know, and I think we all are. I am a child of God first and foremost. And He dictates who I will be or what I will be, who I will be to someone else, whether that's to, you know, a husband or mother or whatever the case may be. And who I might be to you, whoever's watching this.
Joy Wheatley is her worst critic, but she is definitely always evolving, if I could sum myself up in one word. And I think sometimes people have problems with change, but it is good and it's necessary, I think, especially as an artist, to always evolve and grow and develop yourself.
I am a bright spirit. I am a mom. I am a future wife. I hope to be blessed with many more babies later. So definitely a very good mommy. A teacher. A friend. I'm different. I'm just, I guess, like a ball of light. I'm silly. I enjoy making other people smile. I don't know. I'm different. I'm the average girl that everybody wants to be. Put it like that. when you know your purpose, it gives you more of a free spirit, more wingspan to kind of fly off to what you want to do. So I look at myself as the white moth that everybody's attracted to for some specific reason that will allow me to touch their heart in a way.
Dre Black. Dre Black is a persona that was created, I would probably say Dre Black was created when I graduated from Marymount University in 2004. And it was created in a way of like protection. Not when I say protection, I mean it was just like I discovered all these different things about me, like, you know, on the artistic side, and just all these different things that I never really knew that I could do or that I was capable of doing. Whereas though that Andre probably wouldn't do. You know, Andre is more so kind of laid back and a little reserved, whereas though Dre Black is definitely more edgy, more outspoken, more just a little bit hardcore in terms of me knowing what I want and knowing exactly how to get it, and not making any excuses or any apologies for doing it. And I think that's a good thing. I think that everybody has some type of alter ego that they rely on, just because it gives you that extra confidence booster. It gives you that, you know, just to let you know, like, okay, look, you know, you seen Andre on this Dre Black, this the real deal right here. So, you know, that's who Dre Black is. It's nothing, Dre Black is all me, but it's just certain variations of Andre, and one of those variations is Dre Black.
It's just, I don't know, I'm a human being. I'm a human being regardless of, I can relate to anybody or anything regardless of what you think I am mentally, or like, well, he's doing this. Like, nah, like I'm down to earth, I'm grounded, like, for real. I'm grounded, I'm down to earth. I don't know, I want to be as real as possible. I want to be as authentic as possible. I don't want people to get this false reality of like, everything is sweet. Like, nah, what I represent is the world. That's what I represent. I represent everything I take in, everything I see, everything I do, everything I experience. That's who Antwan is. So,
person who is striving to be the best that I can be, like a lot of people. But I'm a giving person, really. I'm a giving person. I want to give this, my gift, to those who are willing to listen. And I'm a person who wants to create. I want to create peace throughout the world. You know, that's what I am. I'm a person who's filled with a lot of different emotions. An artist who's filled with a lot of different emotions, and luckily, I'm able to put that into the music. You know, put that into the music and be able to express myself through there. And I'm a person who, I'm very thankful for every opportunity that I'm given. And I'll always continue to be, you know. I'm a person who, I'm the same person, man. I'm the same person that I've always been, you know. Coming up, people always told me, I remember after high school, people were like, man, you know, don't, you know, grow, but don't change. You know, grow, but don't change. And so I try to stay grounded, man. I try to be the man that I was raised to be by my parents, you know, by my mentors. And yeah, man, I'm glad to be Corcoran Hall. I'm glad to be me. I wouldn't want to be anybody else. Yeah, man, hey, man, I'm a man of music and life and experiences, and of trying to just a man that's trying to move forward, always trying to move forward.
Toilet. That is my persona.
Okay.
Okay.
No. Joylyn is. Do you want me to be deep with it? Or you want me to be literal with it?
Be both.
Be both. Joylyn is a dance-based multimedia, multi-genre performer / artist. ... It's a combination of my first and my middle name, which is a really funny story because I used to hate to be called Joylyn. That was when I got in trouble. I would be called Joylyn. Like my mother's like Joylyn because it's my middle name, and my brother still calls me Joylyn. But later in life, I was like, oh, that's kind of cute. I like it. So she is, many things. Period. Did I say enough? I don't know.
That's what you gonna do?
No, I mean, yeah. She's still finding who she is. You know what I mean? But she's a performer. You know, she's an artist.
I've labeled a whole campaign, I Am Daniel Moore. And that for me is, I'm real, I am music. I'm an open book. So, for me, the image of I Am Daniel Moore is the integrity of it. It is the perseverance rather of continuing forward, and trying to carry the baton of our giants and our legends of before. So that's the only image, the only persona that I want to leave and have out there.
I'm a young girl from a place where they tell you dreams aren't always realized, and you don't see a lot of examples of people living their dream. And so I would say my persona is that same cool girl. I'm your cousin, your sister, your friend, your neighbor who wants to tell everybody that I grew up with, or everybody that's watching, every little girl that hears me or sees me, that it's just as possible for you to be able to do what you want to do. I think I'm just the friend. I'm the girl, I'm the cousin that is real enough that you feel like you can relate and talk to me, but I work hard and I put a lot into what I do as an artist, so you respect my creativity and my talent and the gift that God has given me. But I'm just your friend who wants to tell you that you are just as capable of realizing your dream.
I get inspired from what I watch on television. Big Bang Theory really inspires me. I love that. Simpsons, you remember The Simpsons? We did that in class, right? I love The Simpsons. I like museums. I like everyone. I read an article in the New Yorker. I read an article in the newspaper. There's something in everything that will speak to a part of you, and speak to a part of your artistic temperament, if you will. Conversations with people. I had a lot of inspiration. I always have had a lot of inspiration from my students, because they are seeing the artistic world through my eyes, but for the first time. So they reinterpret what I'm saying and make it their own. It's just like I said, well, go out and take some pictures. You said, well, I want my pictures to look like yours. I want my pictures to look like Ansel Adams or Gordon Parks. I said, okay, go for that, go with that. They won't look like theirs, they'll look like yours, because you're taking the picture. You can be inspired by that, but you're not gonna look just like them. It's just your own stuff, okay? So I find inspiration everywhere. In music, excuse me, in classical music, jazz, yeah. It makes me want to create, and that's the inspiration.
My name is Antwan Nathaniel Nivens.
My full name is Joy Lynn Hopkins.
My name is Ayana Elise.
My name is Kayana Ebony Brown.
My name is Daniel Moore II.
Michelle Arethia Baker.
My name is Andre Bell.
My name is Joy Wheatley.
My name is Shauna Anise Wellman.
Corcoran Neil Holt.
Who is Mr. Berry?
I'm sorry?
Who's Mr. Lou Berry?
No, man, I'm just a, you know, just a guy from Southeast, you know.